Hello and welcome back. You're watching Comic Con Africa 2020. Guys, it is our last day, but please remember that we have prizes to give away. So take those selfies at home and send it through using your hashtag CCA online. Guys, next up we have Ilya Kuvshinov and Warren Louw.
Hey everyone, Warren Louw here, South African illustrator and comic cover artist. So Comic-Con Africa reached out to me to do a follow-up interview with Ilya Kuvshinov. Hey, how's it going, Ilya?
Hey Warren, nice to talk to you again.
Awesome, glad to be back with you here. Okay, so the last time we actually did this was actually in front of a live audience last year, but obviously this time around things have kind of changed in the world. So yeah, that's not really making public conventions as possible. So, at least we can make it happen online now. All right, so Ilya, you don't really need that much of an introduction, but for those of you out there who are new to his work, Ilya is a Russian artist based in Tokyo with a background in architecture, video game development, and Japanese animation. Some of his biggest titles to date include Birthday Wonderland or The Wonderland, Netflix's Ghost in the Shell standalone Complex 2045, and Sing Yesterday for Me as art director or character designer. Now he has a massive online presence across social media with over 1.8 million followers on his Instagram account alone. So I'm very pleased to once again be chatting with him. So yeah, Ilya, man, it's been quite a while since we last spoke. Okay, first thing I got to ask, man, with the world and the situation with the whole coronavirus and lockdown right now, how are things in Japan?
Oh, there's a lot of positive change because of that, So there's companies who didn't realize there's a lot of jobs who could done like on a freelance without like coming to the company every morning. So there's a lot of positive change about that. Like you don't need to be in the office all the time. So there's that. But of course, there's a lot of companies who don't care about that. So you still need to be there. And there's a lot of jobs. You just need to do that. Like for me personally, nothing changed a lot because when I don't work on a big project like animation on a game, I do like freelance illustrations. So I just sit in my room in front of the computer and do my work. Like without Corona or not, it's gonna be looking the same. I just can't go to some trips and stuff.
Oh, okay. So it hasn't been all bad then. That's actually very good to hear. I mean, it's been basically the same on my side as well. It's given me sort of more time to also, work from home a little bit more than before. So yeah, that's also worked out this side. Okay, yeah. So obviously, since the last time we spoke, I've seen you also do a fair amount of traveling as well. Because I know if Comic-Con Africa was your very first convention, and then afterwards, yeah, you did get around a bit. So yeah, tell us about how that's been for you.
I've been in Germany for work for like promoting my art book. I was doing some live drawings there, and I've been in France for animation festival with like our movie were nominated for award there, but
Birthday Wonderland.
Yes,
Oh,
Birthday
okay,
Wonderland.
that's unfortunate.
But yeah, also in France animation festival, we were announcing that I'm working on Ghost in the Shell. So there was that. And after that, I visited Italy, just, personal, like a tourist. I've been in Venice and Florence. And also been in the United States. We were screening the Birthday Wonderland there. And I was doing a lot of live drawings there as well. A lot of trips last year.
Very nice. Okay, Matt, well, on that note of Ghost in the Shell, okay, so I know you do have a bit of a history with Ghost in the Shell growing up. Can you tell us about basically your relationship to Ghost in the Shell and basically what it meant to you to become a part of such a huge project?
Yeah, the first Ghost in the Shell movie was the first Japanese anime I ever seen. It's really impressed me, and I decided I need to draw more to maybe someday be a part of project like that. It was like 6 years old, And after that, well, everything I was doing is just, trying to get closer to this goal. So I get to this art lyceum in the age of 11 on the architecture, and like 10 years I spent there. And after there, trying to get to the gaming industry, because there's not a lot of animation related companies in Russia. So I thought like game development is closer to that. And yeah, after that I moved to Japan, and I'm working on the new Ghost in the Shell. And this is crazy actually. When I think
Man, it's
about it,
amazing.
like I still can't believe it.
Yeah, I mean that is a huge achievement. So man, I'm seriously proud of you. Like you're
Thank
doing
you so
things
much.
that I wish I could have done, So yeah, that is amazing. And then, well, I mean, how did you actually get involved with the project?
So it's all started with the Wonderland, and like director of the Wonderland, Keiji Hara, he is friends with the Mitsuhisa Ishikawa, who's the CEO of Production IG. So one day we decided he decided to introduce me to him. We were talking, we were eating, and there was this small talk about, did you know there's like new Ghost in the Shell in pre-production right now? And I was like, what? I want to be part of it. What can I do to be a part of it? And yeah, Mitsuhisa Ishikawa said like, you can draw some sketches of Motoko and send it to me, and we'll think about it. And yeah, I've done some Motakos for him, and I also sent them like my fan arts. I've done like a lot of fan arts of Ghost in the Shell because I'm a big fan. And there was one fan art of one scene from the original movie. It's like the same scene, just a copy, but it was rendered like it was 3D CG, not cell shading, but 3D CG.
Okay.
And they liked this one, and they said, yeah, let's talk a little. And after that,
Is that
I
the one with the
met with the
cables?
no, it was
Which one
like
is
fan
that?
fan art, fan art, and like 2013. So it's not the original,
Oh,
not the
okay,
official
okay.
art. So I've met with directors Kenji Kamiyama and Shinji Aramaki, and we talk a little. And I've done some more motorcos for them, but they wasn't working for them. So what they was still kind of worried about, can Ilya do that? And then I've done this, the one you're talking about with cables, and
Yes,
they
okay.
look at that and they like, okay, it looks like it's gonna work. This is the Monaco we want. So that's when I started to work on this project.
Wow, man, that is really cool. Now, did you have to go through to their studio and work with them, or did you still work from home?
Yeah, the thing is, I was working on the Wonderland and the Ghost in the Shell at the same time, but the Wonderland wasn't more like my full-time job. So I was being there like 6 days a week for 12 hours a day, and the Ghost in the Shell was my like freelance job. I was just doing the designs on the weekends, and once a week we were doing these design meetings with the directors. When I showed them the designs, we talk about how do you want to them to look like. So it was like two projects at the same time. But yeah, the Wonderland is like I was everywhere in there, But Ghost in the Shell is just this character designs.
Oh, okay, okay. Man, like I don't know how you managed two of those massive projects at the same time. So, okay.
Adrenaline.
Wait, what was that? Adrenaline, the
Adrenaline,
stress.
is in a stress situation, you get all this, you have a lot of energy. So
Oh, that's
after all this project was ended, I was like, I lost all my powers, and I was like, I need to recharge. So there's that.
oh, hectic. So yeah, definitely the stress plays a big factor in getting
Yeah.
performance. All right.
Yes.
So, on that note, how much freedom did you actually have on the character designs? Because I know you worked as a character designer on Ghost in the Shell.
Yes. So the thing is, there's two types of characters in New Ghost in the Shell: the previous characters from previous movies, series, and new characters. So the previous characters, we needed for them to look new, but at the same time, when you look at them, you realize like, yeah, this is Bado, this is Morocco, you know, they don't need to be this different. So we were like mixing the previous designs with the new ideas designs. And of course, there's the thing that it's 3D CG, and we needed to do the models, you know, in the way that it was easy to move in motion capture. So not a lot of yukatas and kimonos there. And other type of characters is the new characters, you know, like Purin and like all these enemies and all this politics. And in the new characters, I was given like more of a freedom. So for example, like the Purin is like 100% my character. So they just say like, just do her any way you want, but don't forget she need to look like Bada would hate her. And I was like, okay, the pink hair then. And
okay.
yeah, that's how it worked.
Okay, so what was your favorite parts on working on Ghost in the Shell?
My favorite parts of working on this project is the communication with the directors and other stuff, because there are so many talented people in the team. And, you know, the directors, they are so fun. They're so smart. I learned a lot. And like on the design meetings where we were not only talking about designs, but, you know, some small talk about their past, about like fun stories in the production of previous titles. It was a lot of fun.
That's cool, man. So it wasn't just business. You guys could actually like bond and all that on like a real level.
Yes. Like the bonding, teamwork. I felt like how it's important for them for this like title to be fun. And also my favorite part of my work on the Ghost in the Shell is just being the part of this project. You know, this is the best project in my life, because I all my life I was trying to get there, and I'm there, and I'm just, you know, just helping a little is enough for me, you know, I can die in peace now. Stuff like that.
Yeah, man, that was a big achievement. Even if you had to be, you know, work as somebody who would just be bringing the tea, that would be amazing.
It's enough.
Yeah. So, okay. Well, then I know you did a fair amount of work on merchandising afterwards. Can you tell us a bit about that? Because I remember seeing like one of the statues that were in production, and just some other, you know, little products here and there. Can you just talk to us a little bit about that?
Yes, for Ghost in the Shell, I was not only doing designs, but I also was doing like for the you know, video itself. I was doing stuff like posters, covers of the books inside the world. You know, the photos, some portraits, a lot of stuff like that. And yeah, the other part of my work was doing the promotional illustrations, design for the goods, design for stuff like that. You know, the actual stuff that making money when you produce an animated series.
Yeah.
You know? So it's like 90% of all the illustrations for promotion I've done was like Modeko. So like my job was like drawing Modeko again and again and again, and I'm happy with that, you know.
Man,
that's
nice.
what I do all the time. So it was a lot of fun.
Okay, so do you have any sort of promotional items created by you in your possession that you're really proud of?
I don't have a lot, actually. Like they send me sometime some goods and stuff, but the biggest stuff I'm proud of, it's a little art book. So we have this maybe 150 pages of design work, since like 90% is just my character designs. There's some tachikomas there, some guns here, but like just mostly my character design from the first season. And I love this book, you know. It's looking great.
Okay, that's cool. That's awesome. Yeah, because I remember seeing that one statue that you designed that I think it's only going to be out, I think either later this month. And I got to say, I was very impressed with that. So I totally want to get my hands on one of those.
Thank you. It's going to be out in October, and I actually ordered two of those. So I'd like to send one to you.
Dude, that would be amazing, man. That would be, oh man, I'd absolutely love that. Thank you very much. So then from there, I saw that you actually went on to do some work on Sing Yesterday for me. Now, how did you actually get involved with that project?
Oh yes, that's a fun story. It's like this some miracle that's like, the miracle happened for me to get to the One land, and then miracle happened for me to get to the Ghost in the Shell, and another miracle happened for me to when I, get to the Sing Yesterday for me. So the Sing Yesterday for me, like original manga, means a lot because there was this situation in my life where I couldn't decide what do I do with my life, and I just read a lot of manga this time, and one of those was Sing Yesterday for me, and it gave me this power to move further. So I'm really big fan. I've done like maybe hundreds of fan arts of Haru, and you even done Haru for me,
Yes,
and
yeah,
I'm
that's
so
right.
happy you done that. She's like the best in your drawing style.
Oh,
Yes,
thanks, man. Thank
and
you.
when I was working on One Land and Ghost in the Shell, the new producers came here. They came to help us, and when we were going back from work at night, and he was like, "Do you know, like the studio I was working before? They are doing the anime version of Sing Yesterday for me," and I was like, "What? Can I be a part of it?" And yeah, he gave me the contacts, and I contacted them, and they gave me the job to do the ending illustrations for the anime, and they also gave me some scenes to animate from ninth episode. So, and I was like, they they asked me like, "What do you want to animate?" And I was like, "Can you please let me animate Haru?" And they're like, "Yeah, okay, sure." I was
Man,
like,
that is very cool.
is it really okay?" So yeah, that was awesome. Forgot to mention, I also worked on the Psychopath 3. There's not a lot of people know about it, but yeah, there was a situation that the deadlines for Psychopath 3 was like super close, and the producer of the Psychopath 3 like called me and said, like, "Can you please help us? We need like this 40 scenes done in a couple of days." And I was like, "Okay, let me help you." And it was so much fun because, how do I say that? I like to feel that I need it, that I'm helping out.
Yeah,
It was
yeah.
like crazy.
Okay, so
I
for
haven't
those of
slept for these 2 days, but yeah,
oh
I've done a
man,
lot of job.
jeez. Okay, well, so for those who don't know, Psychopath 3 is that the Japanese animation or what is that?
Yes, it's a Japanese animation done on the same studio as Ghost in the Shell, like Production IG,
Okay, okay.
and it's a cool one. It's like cyberpunk, really dark, really good story, really deep characters. Please check it out.
Okay, cool. So is that something that's still going to be coming in the future?
Yeah, it's out,
Or is it out
so you
already?
can
Okay.
watch it maybe on some streaming services. I believe, like in Japan, it was in Prime Video. But yeah, I don't know if you can actually see it in other countries. Maybe like Crunchyroll. Check it out.
Oh, right. Okay. Okay, so now we're going to be moving over to some questions from our Instagram audience. Okay, so from ziggy.jpg, what are your greatest artistic influences?
Well, that's easy. If we're talking about illustration, the most influence for me is Japanese illustrators and designers Renji Murata and Shigenori Sojima. Shigenori Sojima is the awesome person who designed Persona 3, 4, and 5. And he is not only a good illustrator and artist, his also design skills are so unique, like characters, monsters, objects. I love his works. And the love of my life in terms of illustration is Bernie Fuchs, is the American illustration 60s, fashion magazines, covers, stuff like that. He's great. Look it up, look it up. And in like directors, animators, it's Satoshi Kon, the awesome guy who created like Paprika and Perfect Blue. Hideaki Anno, Evangelion's director, and of course Mamoru Oshii, the director of Ghost in the Shell.
Okay, cool. That's awesome. All right, next one from Miss J. When did you start to like your own drawing style?
For me, it's never happened yet. So I'm still trying to not find something, but you know, when you see your drawings and you always see like there's something is not enough there, you need to fix that, you need to fix that, you need to, you know, learn more anatomy, you
Yeah,
need to
yeah.
learn more composition and color theory. It's always like that. So it never happened to me like, oh, this illustration style, it's perfect. You know, I'm finished. I don't need to do anything anymore. It's not like that. But I can say I love the results of my work when I work in a team. So, for example, like I love how does the Wonderland look like, and I'm really proud of like the characters, how they move, you know, the mood there. But it's not because I designed that, but it's because how other people from our team took my designs and made them into something more beautiful and real. And I really like those. Yes.
Oh, okay. So, but then with your own personal artwork, has there been any artworks that you've really loved?
I have one, and you have it too. You have it printed. So
Oh, would that
it's the
be?
one black and white.
Oh, yes, yeah, that one. That is a beautiful artwork. So I'm
I
very
think
glad I have a
I
copy of
could
that.
never do anything better than this one. And you know, it wasn't like I've done this illustration and I love this illustration not because I was like thinking a lot how to do the perfect illustration. I was just doing stuff, and you know, it just happens to be like my favorite illustrations, like my favorite illustration.
Okay, awesome. All right. So the next question is from 1827 Handmade. What is your favorite color?
I really love violet and pink and red. You know, this little place on the coloring, but it I think it comes from my idea about like this the greens and the grays are colors of the film of the you know, of the movies. And when I'm doing my illustration, I'm trying to create something not real, something strange. So I use the pinks and violets a lot because there's not a lot of these colors in, you know, in nature.
Okay, okay,
You know, like
awesome. All right.
flowers, maybe.
Oh, sorry, did I interrupt you there?
No, it's okay. It's just I'm trying to think about like the examples of violets and pinks, and it's in nature, right? It's always something unique. You know, like flowers, they are here for a couple of months and then they die. So, or you know, really like venomous snakes and stuff like that.
Okay, all right, cool. And then, okay, so the next question is from Yukia Tora. What is your biggest achievement in your eyes?
I think learning Japanese language. It was so hard.
Man, how long did it actually take you? Because I mean,
I'm
I think you're still
still
learning,
learning.
right?
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
so I moved to Japan in 2014 and started to work at the end of 2014, started to work on the Buzz the Wonderland and end of 2016. So I was learning language 2 years prior to starting work, and it still was so not enough. So like director needed to show me in pictures, you know, I need design like that, and he's showing like the photos of actresses or you know animals or you know books with the landscape photos of other countries. So the words weren't enough, but like little by little in 2 years of when I was producing the movie, I became better. So he don't need like translators or photos anymore. So after even 2 years just learning language for 4 hours a day, it wasn't enough. So right now I in Japan like 5 years now, and I can talk all right, but it's still hard for me to read. There's a lot of you know difficult words there. So yeah,
Yeah,
there's
no, I'm
that.
sure, I'm sure. Man, well, congrats to you for that because I also tried to take up Japanese because I also had plans on moving over and getting into the video game industry there.
Oh,
And
please
man,
do,
I
please
clearly
do.
was not, I just wasn't, somehow I just did not have the drive to be able to keep up with actually, learning. I mean, I learned a fair amount of the katakana a bit of the kanji and all that, but man, I could not see it all the way through. So man, congrats to you.
Well, I can say if you live in the country, you don't have a choice to you need to talk that you need to read stuff to not
Yeah.
to know how to get to this station, how to buy the food, so that if you don't have a choice, it's much easier, but
Yeah,
still,
you don't have a choice. That is true. That is true, man.
yeah.
Okay, cool. So the next question from Nelson Steve 5. After choosing art as a career, did you ever think of giving up at any point?
It happens a lot, but there's this negative thought about like if I gave up, there's nothing, there's no skills. I don't have any other skills, to start any other career. So there's this negative thinking about like I can't give up because I can't do anything else. But there's this positive thinking like about like, oh, I am so tired, I don't want to do it anymore. But there's some positive things about like, for example, I have this people who follow me on social networks, and they are waiting for new illustration. They are waiting for me to show something to them. And I have this, I need to do it for them. And it's positive thinking about it like that. So yes, it happens to me a lot, but there's a lot of other thoughts that, stop me for actually doing that. So if you're working in some industry like related to art and you started to hating on drawing, you just need to find fun parts in what you do, and there's other way of thinking about it, trying to find the positives.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, for me on my side, it wasn't that long ago, quite a few years ago, I went through a sort of a regular cycle of wanting to give up on numerous occasions. And eventually, I hit rock bottom and I realized something had to change. And the biggest problem was basically how I was thinking, how I was treating myself and the sort of judgments I had over myself. And I realized, whoa, I got to actually become aware of how I'm treating myself to see where the problems lie and then to start to change that. So yeah, I mean, I think it's just a path of being an artist, in terms of how hard we can be on ourselves and all that. So yeah, it definitely is a journey where we have to try and evolve ourselves to a place of becoming capable of sailing through those sort of rough seas in that kind of way. So yeah, okay. Well, anyway, let's move on to the next question from Bad Oats. How do you manage your time?
Yeah, for me, like, it's not about the managing time. It's more about like motivating myself. So for example, if I have this schedule, like today I need to do illustration for this project, this animation, this design, next day, this and that. It's like easy, to create your own schedule. It's not as easy to actually make yourself to just sit and do this job. So I created this little game for myself. I pretend that even if I'm working from home, I'm still at a company. And when the company is sitting in the office, there's this boss, walking around, like watching if you're doing your job and asking, so how this project going? So if you have this responsibility, not for yourself, not about yourself, but for other people, if you're thinking about like, if I don't do that, other people would be in trouble. So I lie to myself that somebody's watching and I don't have a choice. Just I need to do work. So I'm also creating the fiction deadlines for myself. So I'm trying to, if I have like real deadline for the project, I'm making myself think that it's actually like the day before. So in that even if it's something happened, like I don't feel well, I can still have this day, to save myself from the fail.
Okay, that's actually a very good way of going about it, because sometimes I can leave it till the last minute a bit too much. So I'll remember that. Okay, so the next question is from twin_J, if I got that right. If you had to transfer your drawing experience to another job, what would you choose?
Cameraman. I would love to work as cameraman.
Oh,
It's
really?
like
That's interesting.
yeah, like the thing is, or maybe doing the photography, because it's like they have this a lot of stuff you need to know to do like interesting shots, like the composition, the contrast, the balance, the movement in the frame. It works the same in illustrations. It works the same like in storyboards for animations. So doing like the camera work for me is looking as so much fun. But yeah, I know it's like it's still hard work, and you need to do a lot to just be good, and you need to know a lot about the machine you use, like the camera and stuff like that. But I'd love to try.
Yeah, that's interesting because I mean, it's almost like you are creating a moving artwork through filming by, making sure that the
Yes,
composition is correct and
so
everything
much fun,
flows
right?
correctly. And man, yeah, I never thought about that like that before. Okay, and the last question will actually be from me. I want to ask
Okay.
you the importance of stress. I want to go more into that because, yeah, I think a lot of people sometimes can sort of label stress as a bit of a negative thing. So, in your eyes, how has it worked as a positive thing?
Yeah, like without the stress, there is no personal growth. It like know everybody's talking about this um personal safe space. It's like
My comfort
everything's
zone.
gonna be okay. Comfort zone, yeah. And if you
Yes.
always be there, you always be there. You're not going anywhere. If you're always in your country, you haven't seen other countries, and it's stressful to go to other country because there's this language you don't know, and you don't have any friends, and you but there's a lot of fun parts in going to other country. There's a lot of landscapes you've never seen. There's a food you never tried. So
Yeah, the
there's a
culture,
lot of
all of that.
stress. There's a lot of fun. So with stress, yeah, coming new stuff. With new stuff, your world becomes bigger. You know more. You're seeing the other people, other situations, and if you just see in your room, like in corona situation, right? You're not going anywhere.
Yeah,
But
no, that's
it's
true.
there's a lot of scary stuff in trying to learn a lot of new things, trying to be more, to do your best. And but thanks to the stress, like for you talked about before, like if you wait for the last moment before deadline, all the stress giving you all this adrenaline, all these powers, all this uh, means to do your work fast and efficient and great, and your brain work on full power because of adrenaline. It's really important.
Yeah, that actually makes sense now. Maybe that's why I leave it to the last minute to get that adrenaline to sort of unleash my artistic
Yes, it's
superpowers.
kind of you can get high from that. Oh, I will do this illustration in 1 hour, and I will be savior. Everybody would be clapping, and
Yes.
but if you see it every day, the couple of minutes you do this and that, like a cool person, it's like it's okay. But if you do everything in 1 hour, you feel really good about yourself, right?
No, that's true. I actually had a situation with DC Comics. I think it was about a year ago. I was doing a Green Lanterns cover, and
Yeah.
the
Oh, I remember this
deadline,
one.
yes, so the deadline was the very next day. And I didn't realize it, but the memory on my computer was pretty much full. So when I tried to save the file, it basically wrote a corrupted file. And I didn't realize I quit Photoshop. And then the next day, when I opened up the file to save it and to send it through to DC, the file was corrupt and I couldn't open it.
Oh my God.
And I was like, oh no, what do I do? So I let DC know, and I told them if I can at least have 1 day extra, I'll make sure that they have the cover. And I don't know how I actually made it happen, but in a whole day, I somehow took a previous work in progress small JPEG, enlarged
Yeah.
that, and painted over that. And I ended up actually making it even better compared to how it
Better.
would have
Yeah.
been before. So that was one example to show me, wow, I'm actually a lot more capable than I thought I was. And that generally seems to be the case for most people. We are far more
Yeah,
capable than we
because
actually think we are.
because of stress, you can see your limits, your actual limits. So like thanks to the movie I worked on, like there was some situations where like 1 week and 3 days without, sleeping like 18 hours, just sitting there working. I didn't know I could do that, wow, I can produce so much work in this short time. It's like the situation with the Psychopath 3. I was like, I've done 40 scenes in a couple of days. And I was like, whoa, okay, I learned a lot about not only my skills, but about my physical body. I can not, I don't need sleep if I feel that I'm doing something important, and I will help this project and stuff like that.
Man, well, I think while we're still young, we're able to do that. But I think, the older we get, we'll start to be a little bit more conscious of just how far we can push things without taking it too far. So there needs to be a bit of a balance.
Personally, I don't want this anymore. It's crazy.
You don't want it anymore.
I hope I will.
Yeah, I know you need balance to do your own thing. Yes. I mean, that can be the other hard part. Sometimes, our sort of art part or our sort of art careers can take over entirely, and it can be hard to try and fit in and realize that we need to create a bit of balance outside of art, whether that's hobbies or just getting out into nature or whatever.
Yeah. It's important. Hiking.
Yes, exactly. Man, I miss that. But anyway, okay, so we are pretty much just about done here. Well, do you have any sort of future sort of projects that are still on the horizon that you can share with us?
Yes, I can't say titles and names, but please look forward for one game I'm working on. Please look forward for one animated movie I'm working right now, and please look forward for one more animated series. It's all secret right now, but it's coming.
Okay, cool. Yeah. So you can't mention any titles. You'll just leave it at that.
Yes.
Okay, awesome. That's good enough. Okay, so then are there any sort of final words you want to leave for your fans or anything like that?
Yeah, I loved my visit of South Africa Comic Con last year. And I'm really hope to be there again this year, but stuff happened. And I really hope I can be there and, next year, maybe next year after that year. And I'm looking forward to that.
Oh, it's going to be really great to have you back. So yeah, looking forward to next year. Hopefully the world will be kind of somewhat back to normal.
I hope so.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, anyway, that is a wrap. I hope you've enjoyed that. And Ilya, thank you very much for taking the time out of your busy schedule to make this possible. I really appreciate it.
Only my pleasure.
So, yeah, I hope to see you guys soon again. And yeah, take care, everybody.
Yes.